live. And it's finally live. Everyone say hey to the internet.
Yeah.
Hello.
Okay, like, all right. Let's get this show started. So let's get started by introducing each other because it seems like we do have some new faces here, especially. All right, Sherman. How about you start first, since that motorcycle got my attention a little bit.
Yeah, there's nothing I can do. I live really close to the street.
Live on the exit ramp.
I mean, I might as well. Pretty much, like it's crazy. Hey everybody, my name is Sherman. I am 25. I am, I guess, a self-proclaimed truth seeker and a shifter in many different aspects, if you will, I guess. I'm on a constant search for truth and self-enlightenment. Next.
I'll go.
Go for it.
I would like to say my name is Neo Jesus, but that's not my real name. That's my self-given name, and I got that name from Jesus himself because he saved my booty one day. No lie. But yeah, I consider myself a shifter as well. You know, quantum metaphysicist. And yeah, astral traveler, hallucinogenic generator. PlayStation 9, man. My mind is like all over the astral realm, carving worlds everywhere I go. I feel like an advanced human being. Like I could just like program stuff on my spiritual iPad and it'll happen. You know, it's like I feel like I'm to a really good level of. I feel awesome all the time. Yeah, I got no anxiety, no stress levels, and it's like I'm in control, subconscious control. I'm in control. I feel like I'm a pinnacle of myself. That's me.
That's awesome.
All right, Deanna, you're
Only took
next.
32 years, but anyways.
Alrighty then. So what do I do? Just introduce myself like that? Okay.
Yeah, just like what Bonnie always does.
Okay then. Okay. Hi, my name's Deanna. I'm probably the youngest here, 19. And I too am into all this. Like, I'm an empath. I'm an indigo. I'm foreseer. Telekinesis. Whatever you wish, really. It's different. Like, I get shit most people don't even understand, and like I can watch a horror movie and be like, oh hey, that's perfectly normal, and other people be like, what?
Spirits talk people. God.
Yeah, because like to me
Let's
it's
take
normal.
spirits of the dead. I know I hate that.
I feel like there's not much to say on me because I think that just says enough. I've just been into all this since I was 12, and I just got sucked into all this since a really big nightmare. So yeah.
So what do you mean by this?
Like, I have no idea. Like, to be honest, like I've always felt like my calling was like meditation, and like I've always been chill, go with the flow, and I'm like a positive person by nature.
That's good.
Yeah.
Probably learned it from your parents or something, right?
No.
Just stay that way.
Yeah. Like, my mom is always a nervous wreck, and my dad always looks at the negative side.
Yeah, those are like my parents too. I'm like the exact opposite. Both of them. I'm more balanced. One's more left brain, one's more right brain. When you put both of them together, it's kind of like, you know, you wouldn't want to be them. You want to be yourself.
Yeah. I'm just the one that looks at all the rain and sunshine, like looks out the rain and be like, fuck that, I'm gonna make a rainbow.
All right, so who else is next? Because some of you guys I notice are muting yourself, especially you, Matt. Like, can you?
Well, I don't know what the sound is like on my phone. Plus, I'm sitting outside.
It's okay. At least I can hear your voice over here.
Yeah, we hear you loud and
Okay.
clear.
Well, I'm Matt. I'm 18. I'm sitting outside on the night right now, and Michael's static is killing my ears. But you want to put like a label on me, I could guess you could call me an indigo child. I know I'm very intuitive, and I'm pretty empathic because I pick up like I have a strong connection with animals more than I do people. So
A lot of people put out that negative energy and not very healing when you're
yeah,
around.
yeah,
You
and
can give
that's why I hate being out in like big crowds because I'm still trying to realize which energy is mine and how to control it and
You'll
and
get the hang of it
talk
once
to
you use your magic spirit again and start manifesting things. Tribute to your
All right. So, what about you, Michael? If you're here.
She's your queen to be.
So I highly
How's it going,
expect
everybody?
I expect every intro for you for the rest of your life, Michael, to be exactly like that. That was fantastic.
Oh,
Uh,
perfect. Right at the moment when I needed it most.
I just love to break the ice, man. I just love to come and
Oh,
just cut the, you know.
then that explains
What's
it.
up, Gary, man? It's been a minute.
Whoa, who are you? I know you, Joaquin?
Yeah, you
All
know
right.
me.
Oh,
Come on,
really?
Michael. Speak.
I don't remember that black face of yours.
But you
Again,
remember
that's
me.
not racist much.
Huh? Racist?
Oh, that's Eddie Murphy.
Oh, yeah, there it is. Hello, Chief Blackface.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, it's just a color. I'm not calling them a bad word. Oh,
Well, it's not as bad as a joke I found.
No, I'm saying, no, I'm saying Gary knows me. Remember you were
oh
telling
yeah, I
that
see
whole
your
story about the centipede?
Oh God, yeah, okay. I
Yeah.
just talk to so many different people online. It's like my job.
Yeah.
I'm like a
All
quantum
right.
metaphysical therapist.
So,
Okay. Yeah. Well, it's just we haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah,
so
you
Michael,
I
can
think
you
the fire
introduce
child is
yourself?
here. Is that the fire child?
Yes, that is.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hey.
Michael, did you
Hey
finish
y'all.
introducing yourself? Hey, Firechild. Dark, Dark Shadow is here.
I am Hakim, Prince of Zamunta.
Princess Amor.
Okay, then.
Prince Shadow is here.
I'm playing, if I had to introduce myself, hi, my name is Michael. I want to tell everybody, I just got this idea because, I mean, I was sleeping portion of the day, and I got this idea to do kind of like, it's going to be like a show, but what it is basically showing people whether they feel like they're beginners or adepts, learning the magical arts, and I called it Merlin's Mystery School. So if anyone is interested,
Oh.
the time to hesitate is through.
The time is now. Now.
Yes, it's now.
I would say
What's
that,
the late?
like,
No.
why would you name it Merlin's if it's not actually Merlin?
It is Merlin. That's my character.
Oh, you
Oh.
you adopted a character? Yeah.
To all my friends, that's the character that I'm playing to them. I help them out in their lives, and I mean that's really my character. That's what I do. You know, I mean I could look like an old man, but you know, I'm about 20, so physically or humanly.
Well, it sounds like you're 19, so I really did tell.
Dude, that's rude.
Oh yeah. But I mean, I have a beard, so. You know,
What's that do? So
I don't
why
really care.
why do you
I
have
don't really
a
believe
picture?
in age.
What's
Why
that?
don't you have a real picture up?
Yeah.
Why?
It's Hakeem.
Hakeem's cool. He's cool. I like that movie. We coming to
Hey, you guys see me before anyway. It's nothing
Meow.
special.
Michael Pratt.
Yeah.
I've never seen you,
Hakeem.
Michael. What do you look like?
That's Michael Pratt, right?
Yeah.
Yup.
Oh, okay.
Or
What's up?
Hakeem.
Or Hakeem.
What's
Okay.
up?
Today is Hakeem.
But anyways, like
alright.
what I wanted to do is basically, you know, Bonnie and I were kind of talking about, and we're just bringing new things to the table. So I'm like, well, if she's gonna do meditation, like I'm like, there's a whole bunch of other things that you know I could help facilitate learning. So yeah, that's what it's about. It's like a Hogwarts online. That's what we want to make it, like a miniature Hogwarts online.
That is awesome. Count me in.
I really thought you were about to say like Hogwarts on crack, Michael. I'm sorry. I don't know why I expected that, but like I was so ready to just hear like Hogwarts on crack.
Well, you know, I mean, supposedly there were some pretty enlightened crackheads out there. Stories
Oh,
that I heard.
that makes the world a better place. We all need more crackheads.
Crackhead.
I'm just saying that there's. I'm just saying there's some wise ones out there. They're not all.
There, but
Like
they're there.
I heard this story. It was pretty interesting. There was this crackhead. His name was Mopey. He was like in
Oh,
New
so
York.
there's
And this dude just jumped off like I forgot how many story building, and he hit the floor and he just walked it off.
Damn.
It's a pretty magical shit. I wouldn't advocate that, but I'm just saying there's interesting things that happen in this world.
The only thing
Alright.
the only thing that would make it the more of the irony is how funny it would be if that were to happen in front of a mental hospital. And, like,
Oh yeah.
Oh my God. Don't remind me of that, Deanna, because seriously, I've been through a mental hospital and it's not fun.
I know. I was just making a
I'm a
joke about it because
recovering
I've been there.
addict, so all this talk about, you know, crackheads and all that shit, like, I've smoked crack. I'm a recovering addict. I have 6 years sobriety from 6 years clean time from the hard drugs, and I have 20 months clean time from weed and alcohol.
That's
Oh, wow.
fantastic.
Oh wow.
Well,
Alright,
that is
so let's
beautiful.
You know, some of the best
Yeah.
poems I've written were when I was high on weed or high on crystal meth or on cocaine.
Well, there's
Tripping
Well then.
acid.
see my thing is that if people had an enlightening experience about that, I don't want to say like what they did was bad because they got something from it. I really don't like to judge though.
It wasn't all, you know, apple pie either, you know. It's an addiction. It takes over your life.
Well, see, at that part it becomes bad or a problem.
A problem.
You know, I don't know. I pretty much just smoked weed and did a couple other pretty much stick to the things that grew out of the earth. But yeah, my mother was a cocaine plant for her school play though when she was little.
I don't even really know how to respond to that. That's
I
wow.
know, right?
That's setting the bar pretty high. That's a good one. Like I don't even. You got me. That's
But it wasn't illegal back then. People just thought it was a beautiful plant.
I remember the story.
All right, so
She never messed with the cocaine though. She smoked weed one time and she didn't know she was. They were just passing this thing around and it said, "It's the marijuana." I said, "Oh no, it's the marijuana." You know, but things
It's the
that grow out
marijuana
of the
sticker.
earth, I think, if used in the right condition, in the right context for the right purpose, I think is good. Just watch out for the popo, you know. But
watch out for the
it's good.
popo.
Yeah.
Hey, Gary. What you smoking in that pipe?
It's just e-cig fluid. I wish it was dabs or something, but I could smoke right now if I wanted to, but I don't want to leave y'all hanging.
Yeah.
All right,
Well,
I'm starting to think I sound like a good kid here because I've never done drugs in my life.
Oh, you can join.
that's
them.
good.
well,
That's
it's
good.
okay. Here's this
That's
is
what I'm
why I
saying.
was
It's not for
waiting.
everyone.
This is why I'm waiting for you guys to get done with your introduction, and then I'll tell you my story, because this is how I got into all these meditations and stuff.
Oh, well, we've got a lot of people to introduce.
I know. That's why I was like, "Are you done yet, Michael?"
I did not even realize like we ended up getting so far from like introductions.
I know.
You guys
I
gotta
was-
focus on our team.
Yeah, that's what we were doing before we kind of
Give it like
strayed
yeah,
a little
give it.
to the darker side of the conversation, which is fine. I mean, hey, it's all an experience, right?
All right.
Yeah.
So to introduce myself, I'm actually Andy. I along with Michael, who is my co-host. I'm the host, and like to give a little introduction is that before I practice meditation and all these good stuff, I used to get into a lot of sex addictions, and yes, and all sorts of crazy stuff. But then eventually, meditation saved my life, which is why I brought the show up. So that way,
Sex
you,
addiction.
yeah, sex addiction. It's just as bad as drugs or anything else.
I don't know. That one
I'm
feels
addicted.
kind of good. But I hear you. I hear you. I don't know. I'm a Scorpio target, so I can't really say that it should be used in the right context, like everything. But yeah, you know. Hey,
Well,
go ahead.
Okay.
So who's next?
All right,
What are you?
so
Take
let
a
me
shot
see
at it, man.
here. Princess Amor, where are you? Come on, give yourself
I
an introduction.
already did mine.
Joe. Hey, Joe.
What's
Oh,
up?
I remember Joe. Yeah, man.
He's my buddy in real life. I told him to come over here.
Oh, yeah, man. Joe
Hey,
is
Joe.
cool.
What's up, Joe?
How's it going?
Hello,
It's just like an inside joke every time there's someone Joe. I go, hey, Joe.
G.I. Joe.
Joe Jonas.
The real American hero.
Big old cup of Joe.
How about a nice cup of introduction, Joey?
I see what you did there.
Well, I'm not really sure I have much to say. My name is Joe, and
Well, we're talking like this is what is the you said like a meditation and spirituality forum or something like quantum metaphysics and shit. How can you relate to?
how can I relate?
Well, they were doing, like, Andy was going to do, like, a Buddhist meditation tonight, and that I was talking about tomorrow. I was going to start up the mystery school
Oh.
as much as we can.
I already start my own college and university for mystery schools too, you know.
Who's gonna do it?
All right.
Magic, motherfucker.
I just, yeah, when, like, see, but the thing is just basically, like, the way that I was taught, I want to just remember not to do that shit. like how it's taught in the public school system, but then teach people magic, but like have them, like their whole thing is about, like if they have an experience, in other words, they meditate and they see some mermaids or whatever, like I want them to say, okay, you just got that from your experience, and that is your own personal experience, and go with it. There's no like shutting down saying this is wrong. There is no wrong.
So wait, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
So if I had a dream about entering a black hole and shadow people, then
Right.
what is that supposed to mean?
It's different to every individual, but I've had experiences with shadow beings, and especially, you know, say maybe a year or two ago, and for one, I mean, it could just be symbolic to your shadow self, or it could be shadow beings that lack the life force, that need the life force that you have, or certain things. And if you have high energy in certain things, sometimes these beings like to feed on you know, people with really high energy. So yeah, it just depends.
You got to be aware of that sometimes too.
Yeah, you do.
Like they have leeches.
I don't fuck around with them.
Like for no reason. Like get this bug off my head.
Like when those things touched me, man, I was like paralyzed, you know, for a little while. I didn't realize I was dating a girl at the time, and like the girl that I was dating at the time, like she played with Ouija boards and certain things, and so by engaging in certain activities with her, I had no idea that that would actually come to me. So I had to clear myself in certain things, but yeah, you gotta watch out for them.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, Andy, what's going on with this? What are we doing tonight? Are we doing, what is it, Zazen? What's up?
It's actually we're talking about Dzogchen, Mahamudra, or this is like Kabbalah in Judaism. That's to be more exact.
Wait, but you're leading the meditation?
No, it's actually we're gonna be talking about meditation.
Oh, I thought we were gonna get to it, bro.
Well, if you guys want to get to it, then first off, I can know what it is, because you know, talking about doing these practices isn't easy. You know, I've seen some people who gone a little bit off with their meditation, and next thing you know, they gone crazy.
What? Ow.
I think that'll scare people from trying it, man.
Well, it's like if you do it properly, you'll do it. You'll get there. This way. But it's not that hard, really.
Mm-hmm.
How
It is
can
how-
someone
how-
go
I
crazy?
remember. Well, I mean, I remember. You know, when we went to the Buddhist
Well, that's
temple.
what we're gonna talk about it, Deanna. You'll get there. All right,
Because
so
how do you know I haven't lost it yet?
all right, so is everyone done with their introductions? Because we want to get.
Yeah.
Oh, we're
right into
still
what
we're still going. We're still going around the round table.
The
Who's
round's
next?
about.
Okay, make this quick because a lot of people are still waiting on what we're going to be talking about tonight.
Yeah.
So, what about you, Woody, or some of you guys who haven't spoken yet?
Woody.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm
Oh,
Woody.
okay.
That's the real me, and this is the false me. That's the real me. There.
Oh, okay. All right. You always see this bird, and I'm like, "What's up, man?"
Hey, Woody!
Come on,
You're
Woody.
a
stop
sad,
that.
strange little man.
I'm kidding.
Okay, is that how you give yourself an introduction?
Tony.
Hey, Tony. How's...
Hi,
Okay.
Woody. How's it going, Woody?
I guess it's going okay. I'm still here. I can still see the screen.
But can you see beyond the screen?
All right.
I'll have to.
All right. What about you, Tony?
Hey.
Tony. Woohoo!
Yeah, I made it in. I think I saw something.
Tony.
No,
Yeah,
just
I'm there. I am waiting for your
Tony.
Oh, I love it when people
Tony.
say my
We're
name.
introducing ourselves, so can you speak up about
Don't
yourself?
you forget about me.
Alright, it seems like he
Hey, whoever the black guy is with dreads, his picture keeps popping up. You're gorgeous. So
Why, thank
cute.
you. Why, thank you.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah!
Alright, I guess like we should get straight in because it seems like we already we already wasted like 30 or 40 minutes going around introducing ourselves, and I sound like.
Can I introduce myself, God dog?
Go, princess. I've been asking you to introduce yourself, and you haven't.
Well, you said Princess Aboard, and I was like, wait, is he talking to me?
Oh, that's the
Princess
fire child.
Because, yeah, you always call yourself more.
They Amor means of love, fire child of love. But I am a fire sign. I'm an Aries. I'm 34 years
Me
old.
too.
I live in South Louisiana. I am just getting into the whole teal thing and the meditation and all. Some of this stuff I've believed since I was a kid. I just couldn't define it or whatnot. So it's nice to finally. Oh, let's see. Let me explain this. 20 months ago, when I entered this recovery program, along with Alcoholics Anonymous, they tell you have to find a God of your own understanding. And so I started going to church again, and I'm sitting in church, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm there. After 6 months, I'm like, nothing has changed. I feel like a hypocrite being here because I don't want to worship Jesus Christ. I'm sorry, I don't. And so, I don't know. And then I luckily came across Teal earlier this year, and I found myself. It's like everything I've always believed was just put right there, and now there's this awesome community of people that I can associate with and learn from. So, hi, I'm Farchild. Nice to meet you.
Yup. And now let's get in deep and get in diving. Because
don't I get to
today we're
introduce
going to
myself?
go into Kabbalah and several of these so-called esoteric practices because a lot of you guys I know of practice meditation. But little did
Andy! Tony still gotta go.
Oh, really? Okay, Tony, come on, speak up, man.
What, can you not hear me?
Yes, I can hear
Okay.
you, but you were like all silent.
No, I was talking. You was just talking at the same time.
Oh, okay, that explains it.
Yeah, I'm Tony. Native American-ish. I'm pretty much slow. Yeah, Cherokee, Comanche. A war within my own head. Yeah, but I've pretty much studied Native American shamanism for some time, and then that kind of led me into Wicca. And then I went deeper into higher magics like ceremonial magic, Kabbalah, and then I eventually went into Hermetics, and that pretty much to me is the key to everything. All religion, all metaphysics, all spirituality. You can have the doors of all these different ideas of perception, but until you have the key, and to me that's what Hermetics is. It's the key that opens those doors. Yeah. But basically, all it really is for me is it was a way to balance out spirituality with science, because I'm at first a skeptic. I don't take anything at face value. That's why I wasn't real crazy about Christianity or any of the other organized religions, for that matter. So, yeah, I like balancing. I like the 7 Hermetic laws have basically been proven by science. That was written, 4,000 years ago, something like that, 5,000 years ago. But yeah, they've recently been proven by science, like everything, vibration, and everything's energy. They found that out. That yes, everything's made up of molecules. That everything has a positive and negative polarity. The law of duality, and it's true. Electrons and protons do exist. We've proven that by science. So most of all of the Hermetic laws have been proven by science, or at least touched upon. So I think that's cool that this was something that was written into a situation where they based it on intuitive knowledge, and now it's come to the fruition of a logical concept and a scientific knowledge. But yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at. Okay.
Gee, that is a lot of journeys you go there, Tony. But at least it's well worth your time, because we're going to be talking about some of the stuff that you go through. So, let's get started. Because first off, I know for sure that some of you guys know what magic is, and some of us, personally, me, I would practice Kabbalah, or Michael, I don't know where you are. But let's go around the room and tell us, what do you think of what is meditation or Dzogchen or Kabbalah in a nutshell? If you guys have
Wait, you don't know where I am?
I know where you are on your magical practice.
Finally see your face.
Oh. Okay.
So, can anyone give us a brief introduction to people who don't know what magic
where I am on my magical practice?
Yeah, give us a brief introduction about what is magic or Kabbalah or Dzogchen, because so many people don't know what it is. They know meditation, but they don't know this.
I mean, magic is basically, it depends. There's two forms that I've learned, which is I more so practice higher magic, which is more you find in the Hermetic laws and the certain things. There's the 7 Hermetic laws. Basically comes from Hermes Trismegistus, and these are universal principles. And so, but I mean, I practiced I was probably, because I really wanted to get in the music industry when I was, say, 15, 16, because I was a hip-hopper. I wanted to be a hip-hopper, so, and this was around the time they were having all that Illuminati and stuff like that, and Freemasonry and things like that, so I really got involved and studied and liked to learn as much as I could, and basically I started from there, and then by 15 or 16 I got into chakras, and then evolved from there, and then got into yoga, and so yeah, I try to keep that as brief as I could. I don't know how brief you can really be with magic.
Well, what about other people around here, if you guys ever practice it?
I'll talk about that for a sec. Hopefully my son doesn't scream too loud. But yeah, I don't have my magic labeled as I got it from this or that. I just got it from experimenting with my own mind and its capabilities. I never got this from YouTube video or church or anything. I sit and talk through my brain to myself, and when I connected to the outer realms of consciousness, beyond our Earth telescopes, farther than we can see with our eyes even, I connected so far that magic just became part of me. I learned it from knowing as much as I can about the human mind, and just probably 2 weeks ago or something, I just, like I said in the text, I took the keyboard from my dude bro bag, subconscious ape, the guy in my head who's always saying negative things, constantly being an asshole about everything I think. I just took subconscious control, and then once that happened, I started hallucinating freely, carving worlds in my astral plane around me, and that's magic too. And there's energy.
Oh yeah.
that can be put into the astral realm, and every entity you carve within your mind, you can give it a glow of clarity, peace, and understanding, and all that good stuff. It's just an experiment for me. I've been really
Yeah, I
pushing
used to have a
myself
little baby that I like. It was like my imaginary friend when I was little. It was
Nice.
kind of like Stewie. It was like a chubby baby that was like the opposite of me. And
He was
it was
asshole, right?
his name was Meanie. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just, but it's interesting because when I look at my younger drawings, I have my family, my cousin, my grandma there. And then in my old drawings, there's like this little evil-looking baby thing in there. So it's interesting. It's like, but yeah, I created that from, my imagination, I guess.
Imagination's a hell of a drug.
Yeah, man. I mean, I used to like talk to him in the car and stuff like, meaning like stop that, and
Like
when I was
out
younger.
loud or what?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny. I got a Down syndrome sister-in-law. She talks to the voices outside of her head, like out loud all the time, like all the time. I know she's super psychic, indigo almost, and she's very aware of things around people's conscious mind. Like if you think something bad, she's like, "Shut up!"
Oh wow, that's the telepathy right there. But that's kind of a level you might not want.
It is. That's a level I'm at, but I don't put up with my own brain
That's
anymore.
like Professor X.
Yeah. I mean, I don't choose to read people's mind. I just let them, because you can feel when someone's entering your mind to read something. You kind of feel like a burn, kind of bruising almost, and it kind of annoys the crap out of you. So I just let people be.
I more so feel things like if someone's putting like an evil eye on you, like I hate that feeling, but I can feel.
Yeah.
I hate that feeling when people like stare at other people with like
negative.
When they're not looking. It's almost like they're sending like a arrow or something to that person. Like,
right?
It's
I call it like
I hate that feeling.
Like waves of that you can read, like energy waves you can read. They don't have to say anything. It's almost like they're carving a story with their feelings. Like it's like light language, I guess you could call it, or something. Like the pure feeling of emotion rather than using words. Like you can sense when someone's being an attitude towards you or they're happy with you, stuff like that. But I've got to the point where it's like, if I feel that, I take my magic hands and crush it up.
Right, Gary, but like have you ever?
Right.
Right,
but the evil eye is like you have, you gotta get that. I like to get them out of my field. I don't want any of that shit in my field.
I put up shields sometimes, like you play video games, you use them video game moves that you see in video games. And it's just like bing, 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 building kick, explosion,
like Mortal Kombat or Soul Calibur or something. Yeah.
Whatever way you can manifest a cure for whatever you want to cure, I guess. You can kill it with a sword. You can bless it with peace. You can, write it a story, tell it to go somewhere else. Whatever bad energy or spirits you're encountering,
Right. Well, I didn't have them. I don't have them anymore. But it's like, especially when I was doing the whole massage thing, like it's just like I could feel like people were like looking at me behind my back or something, and they were giving me like this weird, like. It's almost like they were sending energy out through their eyes. Like,
well, do you remember like
the evil eye
at the time? Maybe I don't know.
Well, it wasn't the best place for me because I'm saying like I'm like super sensitive. So the massage place having to deal with like these people that come in and some of them have like shitty attitudes and they sneer and whatever, So like It's like I have to constantly like clear because when you work with a person, that's their whole. You're picking up on their whole thing, And to me, like I need people smiling a good portion of the time where I'm around them, or I felt like, okay, what's wrong here? You know?
Yeah, like with my magic that I created, I mean, I made my own website for like a type of imagination magic called spiritual cybernetics. I actually think of an iPad with all types of programs written in. It comes out of my wrist like, you know, Mass Effect, just like, and
Oh,
I touch it, move it, whatever I need to fix. It's like beep boop beep. Move them strings, those ethereal strings of hate from the bottom all the way to the top, or whatever I have to do, you know. And then I
oh
give
wow.
myself armor for like negative energy sometimes, like get that shit out of here, just like bing.
All right, so here's the thing, guys. Like, I found this
Those are
little
awesome
website.
tools, man.
I found some website here right here that talks about
I love this idea.
the magic. Yeah, about magic, about Dzogchen and other stuff. It said here that the goal of Dzogchen is an advanced system in the Buddhist practice that brings enlightenment in like one lifetime. And the goal is to remove forever two sets of obscuration. One is like the emotionals, and the other one is the cognitive, which regarding all the notables and prevent omniscience and like those who are disturbing emotions. Like, how in the world do you guys like tell me like some of the times where like when you practice meditation that you all of a sudden like have this emotional upbringing that almost like feel like you're not be able to meditate very well, because that happens a lot of times where people would just go in or complain that they just can't sit still or they just have some kind of obscuration.
It's because there's a lot of channels open in their mind where they're thinking of, you know, so many different paths that they've, you know, they have all the negative energy channels open while they're trying to meditate. They just need to, you know, take their remote, shine a flashlight at it, turn it off, whatever, turn all of them off, and just like say, hey man, it's just me here. Put yourself in that construct bubble, like from the Matrix, where everything's clear, and then you bring in whatever you want. You bring in, you be that guy, just bringing in worlds, carving, jumping over tall buildings, whatever you want to do. I mean, that's the magic of the imagination.
All right, so what about some of the people who are muting themselves, like you, Sherman, or Tony? Because I know you guys been silent for a while. And what about you, Michael?
What was the question again? Sorry.
What was the question?
Is there a time like where describe a time like you have this emotional disturbance that almost won't be able to get you to like whatever higher meditative state that you want to get to? Like, how does it affect you?
When I let it affect me, I think that's a really important thing that people should recognize as far as letting things affect you, you know, because a lot of people react to a situation, and if you go back to Isaac Newton, every action has an equal and opposite reaction. Then when you react to something, you're actually putting that original action into that reaction, so therefore you're just intensifying it, escalating it. But if you intelligently respond, then, you know, it's your choice. You don't have that person's actions or that situation within your response. It's just, you know, it's not necessarily you're focusing on the problem, you're focusing on a solution. So sometimes I do get to the point where emotions do bother, their emotional states do bother me. And the first thing I'll do is, if it's something that needs to be addressed like right away, that's a real quick way that you can break down the energy that's happening right then, is identify it. It's like, you're acting angry. Why are you angry? You know, we're just talking about something. You shouldn't get upset. Or, you know, there's just, because people a lot of times will just escalate into a yelling contest to get to a point, whenever really you could just communicate it intelligently. Does that answer it?
Oh yeah. Anyone else has any idea about that?
What's the noise?
Especially you, Bonnie. You just came in.
Hey, Bonnie.
Hey.
I was just saying hi. I don't know what we're talking about.
Bonnie.
What's up, team? Team awesome. How are you guys? Happy Tuesday.
I like that better than the support group.
Happy Tuesday. I like that.
Yeah,
I like
it's
team
fun.
better than the support
much,
group.
but yep.
I didn't hear you.
So it's a day that nobody really respects much, but yeah, it's a good one. It's always a good
I
day.
respect it. I love Tuesdays. Tuesdays are great. Today we made it Ukulele Tuesday,
Nice.
and I attempted to learn a Daft Punk song, Vertisco, on the ukulele.
Oh, I bet that was fun.
It was really fun. Maybe I'll play it
That's
for
much
you
better to
guys.
learn piano or guitar.
I'm feeling optimistic. Yeah.
You look like the kind that would be good on the ukulele.
Let's not judge a book by its cover now.
But she can play Smoke on the Water pretty good.
Oh yeah.
So what are you guys talking about tonight?
We're talking about like advanced form meditations like Dzogchen or Kabbalah.
Mm-hmm.
So like I know that you are a meditative instructor, but share some of your experience with like emotions when they pop up in the middle of your session.
Oh, in the middle of the meditation?
Yeah, I know that you are this meditation instructor, so at least you have
Well, I think
plenty of experience with that.
I've mentioned this to people a few times. You guys probably already heard me say this, but I really like using the emotional freedom technique, which is basically a system of tapping on the meridians of your body. And like it starts with your hand, and then you tap your head and your eyes and under your eyes and here and then back to your chest, and it's a whole series. And actually at the same time you are stating positive affirmations, and sometimes you're stating affirmations that aren't positive, but you're letting go of like guilt and things like that while you do it. And something about the actual physical act of like tapping is resetting your brain. It's like shaking it out. But tapping is a huge thing, and people like there's all kinds of different healing modalities that stem from tapping. Like the one I'm talking about is called emotional freedom technique, but there's also like tapping for weight loss, tapping for people who have fears, like tapping for like when you're trying to exercise a lot and you need to keep going. And there's just like tapping is a really effective tool for healing traumas. And because sometimes when we sit down in meditation, we'll actually like putting our walls down, and so then if we haven't dealt with a lot of issues, they might arise. And so you can deal with those through breathing and through your breath and through keeping your center of calm. But if it's too hard for you to keep the center of calm, there's actual like physical movements to do through like emotional freedom technique and tapping and things like that. So
one thing about tapping that I've wondered is I used to do it before I knew what it was. So is there like intuitive tapping?
Oh yeah, it's super intuitive.
Like tap my temples, like if I was like I don't know, my mind was scattered, I would like tap my temple.
I mean,
I think it's
super
like
intuitive.
It's like if you have a boo-boo, you naturally put your hands like where it hurts.
Well, yeah.
So
we could all do a quick session of it really quick, and we would feel a lot lighter, I bet you. Do you want to try it?
I'm good with that.
Okay,
I
let's try.
Clap my wings.
Okay. So we'll start at our head, and remember, you don't have to be super hard. But we start and we just tap the top of our head, and then we'll move, and we can say something like, I am reclaiming my power.
I like that.
I am
And
reclaiming
then we'll
my
move
power.
to above our eyebrows, and we'll just use our 2 fingers and tap here. I am confident. And you can say positive affirmations. And then we move to under our eyes. I am amazing. I might be feeling you move to this spot right here above our lip. I might be feeling not so good right now, or guilty,
I might not be.
or angry, or whatever it is you're feeling. And then we'll move to under our chin. But that's okay, because I love myself anyway.
But that's okay because I love myself anyway.
And I trust myself, and then we move to our heart. And you can really say what you want. And then we'll do all over our heart.
I love muffins.
And I know that I am wonderful. And then you go to the sides of your sides right here. Up here.
Oh, that tickles.
And amazing. We're almost done, guys.
To fly in the land with dragons.
And then we'll do our wrist here. And I love myself.
And I love myself.
And then we'll go to the index finger, even though sometimes I don't feel good.
Even though sometimes I don't feel good.
And then the top, we're on our index finger. Now we're moving to our middle finger. Because I know that it's okay.
Because I know that it's okay.
And I love myself. So we go to our bottom of our ring finger, the bottom here. And I love myself.
And I love myself.
And now the top of the pinky again. We're back to the top. And I am wonderful. And we're almost done.
I am wonderful.
The bottom right here, part of our hand. And it's okay. And then,
it's okay.
yeah, and then you would go back into that cycle and just do it again, like top of the head, and you just do it over and over again.
Well, that's cool.
Oh.
It does make you feel better too. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
it does. Because
Actually, one other thing before you start it is it's good to find this like tender spot, right? Like it's actually like an inch above your nipple. So if you like find your nipple and go like an inch higher than that, or about, oh, I just heard my guitar drop.
It's okay.
Wait, your guitar dropped?
I just heard it in the living room drop, but it's okay. So it's kind of tender. It's a spot where it's kind of tender. And then you just massage.
This doesn't look sexy at all.
Okay, you know, we're working through our traumas right now.
Alright.
And you just massage that spot. And then you would do the whole tapping that we just did.
Alright.
I need a moment alone with myself now.
So, guys, so when I look at how you guys do the tapping and all the meditation stuff, and when I look back at what some of the stuff that the Tibetan monks they said about Dzogchen, I found out that there's a commonality here. Like especially like when you brought up like the fact that you had to say this affirmation, like there's this one tradition where in Dzogchen you first like you have to visualize a particular deity. Like this is like your so-called spirit guide. It can be anything that you have an emotional attachment or an emotional relationship with. And your goal is to, like, see that as, like, this form of enlightenment that is part of you, and that is you. And then once you know that is you, you visualize that person's light becomes part of yours. And then that person dissolves into light as you dissolve with them. Like, does that make a lot of sense to some of you guys? Like, how...
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, what it's talking about is if you go into the Hindu religion, it talks about, you know, you got your archetypes. Your archetypes is located into the midbrain. And what it is Christ, Buddha, Muhammad, all that. They are people to you to look to as they are stepping stones to enlightenment. Once you get to them, it's you to bring your energy to their energy. Then you exceed past them, because you are one of them, because you are one.
That's one way.
You could visualize Katy Perry.
Because that's what I noticed what you
Right.
did, Bonnie. Especially like when you make me have to tap on my head, all of a sudden I felt like this lightheadedness, like as though, oh, it's like I'm not completely Andy. I'm also Tony. I'm also you, Bonnie. I'm also any of you guys.
I would like to say that, you know, there's so many ways of doing it that, you know, you can do the tapping, the massage therapy, meditating, or, you know, there's chakra stones, there's all types of weird things. What I like to do myself, you know, I picture my spirit hands carving something that radiates an energy. I mean, that's how I do it, and I don't have to place it anywhere. It's like it radiates so much that it's like boom, like an explosion almost. Like everything's clear. You know, it's like a little, like if you think Hollywood special effects and like video game special effects, you can adapt those to your imagination and program the energy into anything. So, you know, I could have done this meditation, not got anything out of it. It's because if I didn't believe it would work, then it won't work. But if you believe it's going to work, it'll work. Like, it doesn't. I'm not saying it's not
Like
a
the
bad
placebo effect.
It's really interesting. I never seen anybody do that. I mean, there's many ways, so many ways of achieving a higher balance.
Well, I want to say that Bonnie came to my rescue one night. You know, it wasn't the other way around. I think I've came to her rescue before, but like my stomach was terribly hurting, and I did not want to go to the hospital.
Okay.
Because I'm like the guy. I'm like, if I have a superpower, okay, if I'm supposed to have a healing superpower, why am I gonna go to the? I mean, I should be able to heal myself. So
sometimes the physical pain can be too great and too real.
Sometimes it was, man. This shit hurt, and I did not know what to do. But I just called Bonnie, and we went through a whole meditation. And then we did the tapping, and even though I was like shivering, man, like I had like the shakes,
Really?
but it helped me have some type of peace of mind. Even the pain that I felt at the time, it was painful, man. But I was able to ease my mind for a little bit by doing those techniques. So I definitely know they're very helpful, man.
But we did one other thing that night, which was Reiki.
Oh, we did Reiki.
I can't remember if we did Reiki before or after the emotional freedom technique. I really can't remember, but we did like a 40-minute distant Reiki session, I think, too, or like 30 minutes, or it was.
Yeah, I think it was like 30 minutes or something, and I was like, you know, I mean, I definitely am gonna pay you back, but I'm like.
No, you did. Remember, you did an angel card reading for me.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
But so it shows that these things are really helpful. You know, I mean, even for you know, whether you just want to feel good or if you're going through something like that, these things are very beneficial. And that's really when they come to your aid. I would hope people don't have to, you know, experience pain like that, but what I'm saying is they're tools that definitely help.
Yeah, so I had some pain in my back one time, which was a pinched nerve, and it was so bad I couldn't like move forward, pick up a Mountain Dew or anything like that. I got so tired of it that I literally tried to heal myself and like find out where in my whole body where that nerve was, and I tried to shut it off. Like I tried like so hard, it worked for like a day. Like I could walk again. I could feel that nerve, like my body listened to me to the point where it said, okay, we're not going to give any energy to that section. It's like they closed off the dam or whatever, closed off that section and said, all right, there's still a little bit of leakage of pain, but you're going to be better now. And it worked like just like that. It worked. I used my spiritual iPad, said, looked at it through my vision and looked at myself. I was like, okay, it's right there. It has X-ray and all that cool stuff. It's like you can think of it, and the imagination will instantly. There it is. Like not even like have to think about it. Like by the time you put it into words, it's already done. You know, it's like you can go so deep with it, so deep. I got that skill.
So Bruce Lee healed his spine supposedly.
Yeah,
Yeah, he just willed it to heal.
You can shut off nerves.
He sent the chi, you know, to that area.
Yeah.
So it's very. That's interesting.
Well,
also,
that's one thing that pain is it's a focal point.
Yeah, definitely.
You can use that to focus on that particular area, not the pain itself, but that area.
You could also use a tree.
A what?
A tree.
Oh, hug a tree or something?
Oh, hug a tree. Or
well, you can hug a tree, but one thing I heard is you can put your spine. I told this to my dad. I don't think he tried it, but basically, you put your spine to a tree, and just ask the tree, just like, you know, I need healing in my back, or my spine, and the tree will send that energy. I'm getting really good with trees, man. Like if I like send them some Reiki or something.
You get there?
Yeah. Sometimes
like
I feel like they're shaking my hand.
Picks up, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes, yeah, I felt that like tornadoes around me. Or sometimes it was like give trees
like when
some love. It's like
when they pick up, or sometimes there's a breeze and it's like. It's almost like sometimes they're saying hello.
Yeah, it's like a little wave, a little high five there.
But when they're doing this, like when they're like the wind's blowing and it's going like this, and you put your hand, I feel like they're greeting, like.
Yeah, like they carry
they're very intelligent, man.
They carry the frequency too. That that frequency of love and shit. But not shit, but love and stuff. I was raised in the ghetto, but I grew up in the ghetto, so.
So.
Okay, well, yeah, I mean, you know.
I wonder if you guys
still love.
I know that you guys have gone through a lot of like those so-called experiences, but like, have you ever tried doing this? Because I actually have this book on my lap right now that if you guys want to check it out, it's called Tibetan Book of the Dead. Right here.
Okay.
It's a big book.
Not wrapped in human flesh. Why not?
Yeah, like if you guys can try to. First, close your eyes for a while and try to visualize what is reading right here. Like, picture yourself as though you're already dead, you don't have any more breath, and that you're...
Wait, hold...
Like, the
are you facilitating this right now?
Well, I'm actually giving you, like, this overview of what Dzogchen really is, because I'm reading this from the Bardo Photo. Alright, try to, like... I don't know about you guys, but... Try to close your eyes real quick. Imagine that you're going through this dark tunnel, that you're dying right now. That you know.
Wait, hold up. We need to get into a relaxed state first before we can just.
Yeah, let's do it.
Alright, let's do it.
This is what Bonnie is really good at.
Close your eyes, everyone, and take a deep breath in. Breathe out. And as we enter into this little dark tunnel, that we know that today is our last day on this earth, that we have no other choice but to leave, and that now a Tibetan master will read to you these words as you experience them when you visualize them. Hey, noble one, your name's so-and-so, whoever you are. Now the time has come for you to seek the way. Just as your breath stops, the objective clear light of the first between will dawn as previously described to you by your teacher. Your outer breath stops, and your experience reality stark and void like space. Your immaculate naked awareness, dawning clear and void without horizon or center. At that instant, you yourself must recognize it as yourself. You must stay with that experience. I will describe it again to you at that moment. Now, this mirage you see is a sign of earth dissolving in water. The smoke is a sign of water dissolving into fire. These fireflies are the sign of fire dissolving into wind. This candle flame is a sign of wind dissolving into consciousness. This moonlight sky is a sign of consciousness dissolving into luminance. This sunlight sky is the sign of luminance dissolving into radiance. This dark sky is the sign of radiance dissolving into eminence. This pre-dawn twilight sky is the sign of eminence dissolving into pure light. Venerable teacher, please act on your spiritual conception without wavering. Hey noble one, now that you have arrived at so-called death, so you should conduct yourself according to your conception of the spirit of enlightenment. You should conceive your spirit of enlightenment thus. Alas, I have arrived at the time of death. From now, relying on this death, I will develop my spirit only by contemplating the conception of the spirit of enlightenment, of love and compassion. For the sake of the whole space full of beings, I must attain perfect Buddhahood, Christ consciousness. And especially you should think, now for the sake of all beings, I will recognize the death's clear light as the body of truth. Within this experience, I will attain the supreme accomplishment of the Great Seal, Dzogchen, Mahamudra, or Kabalah, and I will accomplish the purpose of all beings. If I don't attain that, then in this time of the in-betweens, I will recognize this as the between. I will realize that between as the Great Seal body of integration. I will accomplish the purpose of all the infinite space full of beings by manifesting whatsoever is needed to tame whomsoever. Thus never losing the willpower of the spiritual conception, you should remember the experience of whatever instructions you have previously practiced. Venerable teacher, right now the objective clear light dawns for you. Recognize it. Please incorporate it within your experience. Hey noble one, your name so-and-so. Listen here carefully. Now the pure clear light of reality dawns for you. Recognize it. Hey noble one, this, your present conscious natural clear void awareness, this presence in clear voidness without any objectivity of substance, sign, or color. Just this is the reality, the mother, Buddha all around goodness. And this, your conscious awareness, natural voidness, not succumbing into a false annihilative voidness. Just your own conscious awareness, unceasing, bright, distinct, and vibrant. Just this awareness is the Father, Buddha all around goodness, or Christ all around goodness. Just this presence of the indivisibility of your awareness, naturally unsubstantial voidness, and the vibrant, bright presence of your conscious awareness. Just this is the Buddha body of truth. Your awareness thus abides in this vast mass of light, of clarity, void, indivisible. You are free of birth or death. This is the Buddha changeless light. It is enough just to recognize this. Recognizing this, your own conscious awareness, purity, nature as the Buddha, yourself beholding your own awareness. That is to dwell in the inner realization of all Buddhas. Hey,
What do you?
noble one, meditate on this archetype, on your archetype deity. Don't be distracted. Aim your immense willpower towards your archetype deity. Meditative as a parent but realityless like the moon in the water. Don't meditate it as material. And now, everyone, open your eyes again. As we finally leave the bardo and coming back to this reality again. Can anyone describe to me, like, what is it that you, like, what is it going through your mind when you were experiencing what was read here?
There is no death, and I was feeling like flying through outer space a little bit.
That happens
That
sometimes.
little pull, like I was imagining, like, going out from where I was, an out of body experience, and then looking back and being like, I'm in heaven, and my body's still on earth, but I still have a connection.
Heaven is a place on earth.
That's what.
So, does anyone else?
Well, the thing is, I think that was very good. I appreciate that you read that, Andy. One of the things that I have to do is when we're doing these meditations, I have to slowly get back to my body, because if I just start walking around like right after I, do the practices, it's like I'm not really here.
Yeah.
I'm still in the stars somewhere, so I've got to. But I felt there was I don't know if that's I saw like I pictured like a Tibetan monk.
Huh?
Was just basically reading to me the things
Roll me one.
the Book of the Dead, and I was just transcending. It was a very interesting visualization.
Mm-hmm. I'll be right back. I want to smoke a cigarette with my wife.
Yeah, no
Like,
problem, man.
what was like your experience in terms of like the feelings coming out of it? Like, did you have the chance to know that you were having a little fearful, or like are you a little unsure of what you're going to face in the meditation? Because like that is what
Not
Dzogchen
really.
does to you.
I
guess it
mean, I
really
was kind of
depends.
smiling.
Yeah, I thought I was listening to the wisdom of it, and I was
Same
just
here.
really in a blissful state. I can't say that I really saw anything at this time. It was really cool though, because it was just like almost like he was talking about like the void, where he was just like absolute silence except for you talking. And I was just really just listening to it. Whenever I opened my eyes, I found my hands had clasped together. And I was just sitting there just listening to it in a silent, calm, relaxed state.
I think because I'm not holding any resentment towards anyone, so I just kind of just sat there like smiling, like, waiting for the next words to be said,
Right. That was beautiful. That is I really like what you said. There's Tibet and the Dead. That's definitely a book I'm looking into getting now. That was really cool. But yeah, I'd say about 3/4 of the way through it, I lost connection completely on my Google. Not me myself. I was still maintaining connection, but yeah, the Google
Oh.
data shut down. I was like, wait, what? Not now. But yeah, I doubt it was definitely an experience.
Well, that's what led me to get you to ask some questions regarding like your experience, because like that's just only like the peaceful, blissful experience of what like the book actually said. Is in fact, this is what I'm going to be doing for you guys, especially like we're going to first go through this basic meditation where I'm going to make you visualize your deity or archetype in both peaceful and wrathful forms, and then after that, after you gone through all that experience, I'm going to have to like put you in that death state, so that way we can build a like see how it works when the dead go through all this, you know.
Working with archetypes is definitely an interesting thing to experience, for sure. I used to do it whenever I was invoking different archetypes, not only in shamanism, as
Yeah,
far
there's
as
certain.
totems go, but in Wicca, the archetypes, invocation of the
When you
goddess.
invoke the god and the goddess.
Oh
Yeah.
wow!
Or
Yeah,
evoke.
well, invoke is it within. Evoke is actually materializing. So I would say it's
Isn't
more
that
close.
there's one of them where it's like, okay, it's like you experience, like, for you put yourself in the mindset and you experience, so say for instance you wanted to experience I don't know,
Yeah, that's invoking.
Thoth
Yeah, that's
for a little
invoking.
while. So you
So it's like you're going within.
okay.
Invoke. But with evoking, that's usually used in a magical ceremony where you use like an herb like Dittany of Crete because it has a whole lot of smoke that it puts out, and the spirits can use that smoke to form and manifest. Evocation's very iffy. I wouldn't suggest it until you really absolutely positively know what you're doing.
Right, but like Tony, did you realize how this is a
But
little
invocation is when you experience yourself as the deity, right?
Yes.
Yes,
Or you
that
experience the deity that you're invoking within. Yeah. They manifest within you. Yep.
Yeah, and that's what I was talking about, Tony. Like this is where Dzogchen and Kabbalah was a little different, where like this is no regular meditation to deal with. You're actually like you're listening to something that you have that you will have a chance to experience and have a chance to see what will happen if you go past that limitation of yourself. You know.
Well, I believe that this Dzogchen meditation, I cannot say that word, but anyway, the Dzogchen meditation is...
Zoltan.
Hail, Zoltan! Oh, anyway. Yeah, it really seems like it's very similar to the invocations that I've already practiced. So, then of course you can take it further into like the Akashic field, or in Kabbalah, since that's one of the topics on here. You can rise above all the different consciousness, the bottom seven, which that's where the quote-unquote 7 deadly sins are, the 7 heads of Leviathan and all of that, the 7 virtues as well. And then there's the 3 supernals that are untouched. That's the Trinity, the Triad. So many different religions call it so many different things. But whenever you get to those top 3, that's understanding, or in the order of the flaming sword, it goes to wisdom, understanding, and then Keter, which is thine. And then the 3 veils of negative or no thing existence, in at least in Hebrew, is the Ein Sof, and Ein Sofar. Yeah, Ein Sofar is limitless light. Ein Sof is without limit, and the Ein is really nothing that you could possibly comprehend. It's just source, and you just dwell in that source. You know,
Infinite
but all
space.
we can. Yeah, infinite space. So in Dzogchen, whenever you get to that void, you actually rise, basically above that idea of light, because light is a manifestation. Where if you go above that, you finally get to the Ein, and that is above light. It's beyond the higher you get as far as trying to broaden your awareness, the further you get to being anything, and I guess that's where you come into that absolute silence.
That is what I was trying to tell to people, is that like when you do like archetypal meditation, especially like some of the stuff that we're reading, like that's the thing about our human emotions is that it's not about trying to kick out the emotions that we have already. It's about learning to look deeper into what was there already and then say, oh, that's just part of my clear mind, you know? It's part of my clear mind, and there's nothing to fear. There's that this is just a part of this basic so-called some Buddhists call it basic goodness that we all have. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, have you guys noticed how some of our emotions, like they were so fleeting, like the wind or the water itself, where it just doesn't persist all the time, right? You notice that?
Or they're just the fleeting emotions that just kind of come and go.
Yeah. First off, they come and go, and second of all, they just never they fluctuate, you know. But all of which does not mean that it doesn't reveal that so-called clear light of mind where this mind is just manifesting itself into many different ways to help other human beings or other beings that you think of.
Well, also, and I think Bonnie mentioned this the other night when we was in her hangout, that sometimes when you feel emotions, especially whenever you get to the point where you're empathic and receptive to how people are feeling, that you have to identify whether or not those are your emotions or not, or ask yourself, where is this coming from?
Right.
And then sometimes it might not be from you. You know, it might be from somebody around you.
Right.
So
right.
you have to be able to identify that. Once you start getting to where you're empathic, and I believe everybody has the ability to be empathic once they open up to just being receptive and introducing themselves to that the invocation of the goddess and the feminine, the sacred feminine that is really sensitive and feeling and nurturing. So, and once you feel that, once you get into that state, you really do start feeling what other people around you are feeling, and you have to be able to identify that, you know, this is my foundation, this is how I feel, so what I'm feeling isn't coming from me, it's elsewhere. And how far away could that be? It really just depends, you know. So the best thing to do in that kind of situation, if it's people around you, is address it. And if it's not people around you that you can identify, you know, just let it go, because you might have picked it up at the store. You know, there's no telling where it came from. You might have picked it up on the television if you watch it. So
The television.
Yeah. So yeah, in that essence, if it, and I think I talked to you about this before, Andy, as far as empathy goes, is being able to identify and be able to shut it off at times if you have to. I believe that's also important, you know, to be able to control that.
Because you'll pick up on everybody's stuff, man.
Right.
Yeah. Well, like that, but like that's the greatest.
If you don't
Of
shield.
course, that is a weakness, but that's also a strength to a lot of empaths. Because did you realize how like what I
don't think it's
noticed
a
is that,
weakness.
in fact, it's actually a strength. Did you guys notice that a lot of the people who actually reach enlightenment in history are actually empaths? That includes the Buddha, Jesus, and several other great beings.
They come to themselves
had
in
to
that. You know, they after you reach a certain level, you can't help but be empathic because you feel yourself in everything.
Yeah, and like if you guys notice, like in every scriptures, we always mention how everything is just this so-called oneness. It's like everything is not completely a void, but rather just oneness of everything.
I wish
And
the
when
sermon would say that.
that if, like if if every human being were to think like an empath, I wonder how would this society end up? Like we'll be just like heaven already, you know?
Bonnie, you look exactly like the study card right now. See, that was talking about you.
That's funny. No, he looked like this.
He had
I was
sleepy
reading
eyes.
something.
He was
I
tired.
was researching right now, actually, as
So
I'm
you.
listening, but I'm actually reading about meditation.
So Bonnie, like, did you have a chance to actually experience what was read on the Tibetan Book of the Dead? It's actually like some of us are like going through this deep trance
I think the
about.
thing is that everybody will have a different experience, but that's the beauty of
That's
it.
why I want to know from what Bonnie goes through.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, like some of my Raja yoga practices and stuff kind of talk about how like death is like the ultimate enlightenment, and so when we meditate, we're kind of like resembling what that is like almost, because we're basically like finding this divine bliss. And but the first time I heard that, it really was weird to me, and I was like, why am I wanting to be in that state? I don't know. But so I warmed up to a little bit of it, like through that way. And I guess I feel like it's a fun, interesting thing to do. Um, but I don't know that it's just not really my style necessarily. But I enjoy doing that and putting myself into that, like realm for a little bit and stuff.
Well, like, did you experience anything?
It's a whole new
Anything
meaning to
pops up?
Grateful Dead.
Oh, sorry, I gotta plug my computer in.
Grateful Dead.
Like, did you have any moments where like you all of a sudden feel like you feel blissful, or when you experience like this clear light of day coming right at you?
Never wanna die.
Because that's what a lot of people tend to report, even like the dead people, is that they
How do dead people report things?
Like, what's going on?
I see dead people.
You said even the dead people, and I was just saying, how do dead people report that too?
Well, like that's a lot of the like some of the dead people, like when I were to experience their energy, this is how like we be able to communicate with them, is that empaths, like if you were
I saw Kurt Cobain.
if you were to read it in a tone of like this fearful tone, they all of a sudden like also feel fearful to the point where, oh, I don't know if like this clear light of day is going to help me get to this better place. And so like that person felt uncertain, and then whenever like the reader start reading it in a different way, or however you experience the word of the Tibetan Book of the Dead, it gives different experience to people. Like, did you have moments where you like felt shocked or anything, Bonnie, or what's going on when?
I have this like spot I go to when I meditate, or not always when I meditate, but sometimes, and it's kind of like a tube, like a tunnel of light, and I see different colors, and it's like I'm going through the tube, and then I get to like just this vast dark space where there's like stars and I can see it in a distance, and so I went through that experience, which is something slightly familiar to me from doing it from other meditations. So yeah, I really like when I get to do that, the whole like tube and tunnel of lights coming at me and stuff like that.
Whenever you say that to me, what I think of is that toroid shape that I have there on my picture, but instead of it
the
from the
toroidal
front
field.
view, from the top, or looking from inside
Yeah,
outward.
that's exactly what it seems like it looks like. Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, I've seen that too. That is really cool. It's like a light tunnel, a rainbow light tunnel.
Yeah,
I would assume
totally.
there's like a molecule, a single molecule emanating that aura. But I don't know what it is though. It seems like it goes in, cleanses, comes out, and then recycles all the energies back. It's kind of like always in motion.
That's a torus.
Yeah.
That's
Like,
what that symbol is on my picture there.
yeah, it's beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah, I didn't make the picture. I just kind of combined it. Deviant art, I think's what they call it. Yeah, that's what they call it.
People steal my artwork and get it tattooed.
Oh, he made some amazing artwork, man.
Who, me?
Tony.
Tony did, yeah, him too, huh?
Yeah, it's fine. I don't mind.
I give all my
Amazing
artwork.
Thank you. Well, I kind of said I didn't want him to say anything about it, but it's all good. Don't worry about it.
Oh, you didn't want me to say anything about it?
Oh, I thought you knew. Yeah, but no, that's cool. Whatever, yeah. Okay. But
Oh,
yeah, I'm
no,
glad
I
you liked
didn't know. I was just giving you a shout out. I didn't know.
it. That's cool. Yeah, it's no big deal. I just have to learn to say no or charge $100 an hour, as Bonnie said.
Oh, yeah. All right, well, I didn't, I don't want you to get, clientele.
Absolutely not a problem at all, man. If I can help people express themselves through artwork, with my assistance, then awesome.
And the music.
Oh, definitely the music.
I swear, man, that's like a divination thing right there. Like, you just hit it, and whatever he says is the message for you.
He's like a magic 8-ball.
Yeah.
A pocket philosopher.
I sleep with him, man. I don't know what the ladies think, but
No Yomo.
Actually,
he sleeps with me.
I've actually got a deck of cards, I think is what they are. My brother got it for me for Christmas one time, and what it is sayings of the Dalai Lama. I think I'm going to start posting those on my status every day.
Well, Yoda sounds kind of close to the Dalai Lama sometimes.
Yeah.
I feel like a Hallmark card myself on some of these Facebook communities. And all my posts seem to be like weird, my friends say. But
I think I'm the same, man. Like, I would see people that would add me for a little bit. I'm like, you may not want to dive into that, and they're just like, no, hey, you're pretty cool in certain things, and then they'll see my post, and then I'll look at my friends list the next day. I was like, I swear I had like 300 something friends at least.
I don't know how many times I lost friends just by mentioning it.
And then I'll just see their name in black, and I'm like, what happened? I thought we were cool. You were telling me how much you thought I was interesting. And
Michael, like when you mentioned about your archetype Yoda, can you explain to me like what does that archetype really means to you personally, so that way the audience can know, because that might be helpful for those of us who are beginners in Dzogchen meditation. It will be very useful, that we can find an archetype that we can relate to personally.
Well, one thing I want to comment on real quick before Michael says anything is the thing that you said, the archetype of Yoda. A lot of people don't realize, but yeah, archetypes don't necessarily have to be like the gods and goddesses throughout time and myth. They could also be like, invoking a Jedi, invoking Obi-Wan.
Right. And usually, like, I would say, like, the reason why we evoke a character or any archetype and we visualize it as this timeless being is so that we can, like, not only be able to recognize our own omniscience, there's a goal to it. Why we say that why our archetypes is omniscient. is because we are omniscient.
Yeah, I can feel thoughts coming in before they get here, like a paper airplane flying at me. It's like, what the hell are you doing? What?
Interesting, that is.
Very, very, very. I've had omniscient dreams where I was looking at Earth from probably, satellite distance, and I could hear, see, feel like every human being, see through their eyes, know what they're doing, feel like every molecule of their body, everything that they're made of, and every life form around them. I could feel their force, as if, that's omniscience. It's like you can sense things before they happen and see things from every angle. Just that's like that open mind, like to the extreme. Those dreams were like they were showing me like
I
visions.
had your sandwich from Subway. Veggie sandwich.
Oh, you went and got
So like, here's the. What about you? Bonnie, can you explain to me some of your archetypes, because I never get to know you.
You get the message in your phone?
Be back, I will.
What are you asking?
Bonnie, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm kind of halfway here.
Okay, yeah, like I was actually asking about how you about your archetypes, because that might be useful for the audience to know about when they practice like for example your Raja Yoga style of.
Yeah, I stay focused on like super relaxation sort of techniques. I don't really want to throw anything at people that they're gonna not be ready for, like trying to imagine what it feels like to be dead, you know? Like I like to stick with what we know is relaxation techniques and therapy and ways of calming down and getting rid of stress and entering, if they want to, into like a spiritual land, but it does not so deep into the like, imagining what it would feel like to be dead, sort of thing.
I want to talk about archetype. Let me try this.
Yeah, and also Milani, try to join in about the conversation about archetypes, because we were doing a meditation a moment ago, and somehow you're off, and you didn't have a chance to actually go over and look over what we're doing.
Okay. Yeah, this archetype thing. I got this archetype of Neo Jesus that I call myself now, from the man Jesus himself, who saved me from suicide one day. And I was feeling like the worst low I've ever felt, and the reason I tried suicide, because the voices from the heavens, the spirits, they told me of the afterlife and all the cool stuff you can do there. And I said, you know what, I tried to suffocate myself by holding my breath. I blacked out, and then all of a sudden I felt this huge like portal magnetic pull just right into my body, and instant relief, instant like turnaround. It was like in a flash. What it felt like is how I feel now. Like I'm a walking meditative state. Like I'm in my own little meditative chamber no matter where I go. So it's like when I felt him, and then he came into my life, and he told me a lot of things that are minds and bodies and of the spirit realm, that we're all capable of things that we don't even know about. And he dubbed me with a name. I took Neo because I just watched The Matrix probably like a week ago, after a week before that happened. And then I called myself the God of Peace at first, and then I said, you know what, I'm gonna just call myself Neo Jesus. It feels better because it's original. It's nobody else has the name with the G and ZUS in it. Nobody spelled it that way ever.
Wait, so Gary, like here's the thing. Can you help me visualize what Neo Jesus looks like? Because like I know what Christ consciousness looks like, but I would also like.
Okay. What this archetype that I borrowed and kind of measure myself with is like I feel like I'm a little more human than human, I guess you could say, in a sense where my senses are all open and almost max level, where I can do whatever, feel whatever. I don't have to feel this way. I don't have to let people around me feel that way. And you know, I've done some things around the universe, cosmos, even like blanketed it with feelings that are just awesome. I've even danced with the center of the universe and all beings that I can imagine were there. You know, it's like I believe like that. Why I call myself that is because he would have wanted to do what I'm doing right now.
Right.
Training people, talking to people, evolving the mind, the consciousness of the entire grid across the entire globe. But I think just enhancing Earth is a small thing. That's how big I think, you know. So I like to think on a cosmic grand scale, you know, just zoom all the way out until you get to that metaphorical God skull, and then you look through God's eyes, and you jump out of God's eyes and say, "What's up, bro? How you doing? I like your world you got here. You know, I love everything about this place." And you just become fascinated with everything. If you become a little better self, a better person, a better. I don't like saying, you know, feel like a god or something, but it's the closest thing I can compare it to, because you feel like perfect. Like if you could bottle it up and sell it, people would be hooked on it. It'd be the new drug on the streets, but there's no way to bottle it and sell it.
Wait, so,
Spirit.
okay. So what about you, Milani? Since you didn't have a chance to, I don't know if you actually watched some of our shows or you some parts of what we did on the Dzogchen meditation or this. I was reading like the Tibetan Book of the Dead. And, like, what is your experience out of this? Uh, Princess Amore, can you unmute yourself?
Hey!
Hey, what's going on? I was asking you about like your experience in watching through or going through the show on when I was reading the Tibetan Book of the Dead. How was it?
I wasn't online. I was checking out a YouTube video that Tony had sent me. Sorry. Learning about, how do you call that,
It's called,
Tony?
he's actually going somewhere right now.
Oh, it was like Kabbalah stuff.
Oh, like what was that video? Share us about it. In fact, I want to know.
I can't repeat anything I heard. I mean, I don't know. Like, it was a 7 something or another's. I don't know, dude. I'd probably have to watch it 10 more times before it really sunk in, you know?
Like, can you send me the link to the video, because I might be able to find out about it, you know?
Alright, cool deal. I'll send that to you right now.
Because seriously, like, that might be a Okay, come on. Alright. Alright, so give me one moment. This is Tony's YouTube channel, so I wonder which video. Milani, do you have
Hey,
any
just
like?
Hey, you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Alright, I don't know. My phone's freaking out, I guess. I don't know why it's not showing. I don't know.
You were sending me like Tony's YouTube channel, so I was like, oh, where do I
Yeah,
click on
but
that one?
yeah, but click on that and it's actually a video. There's a link.
There's a link. Do you mean
I
like
don't know why.
Yeah, I have no idea where I'm going in his channel right now. Like I have no idea. I'll wait. We'll just wait until like Tony gets back and he'll help. Here's the thing, like when you were studying the Kabbalah, like give us like an overview of what's going on when you like watch that video. Like your overall experience.
To me, it felt as though it was simply just the like 7 basic tools of maybe of like living and understanding and being. I don't know. I have to watch it a few more times.
What about you, Michael? Do you ever had a chance to practice Kabbalah very much? Michael. Woo. So yeah, give me one.
These things are definitely. I mean, I'm so. Listen, guys. I work 5 days a week. I'm in a treatment program. I go to group meetings weekly. I attend court monthly. I go to AA meetings 2 and 3 times a week. I have 2 children. So when I'm not doing any of that, I'm laying in my bed and studying spirituality. I mean, the last probably 3 weeks I've just been consuming myself with this stuff, and because I'm so green, you know, it's still all fresh to me. It's hard for me to like put it into words what I've actually seen or read, you know. So when you ask me to explain what I saw, it's like it's almost like Chinese to me, you know, because it's just so foreign because I'm still so green in it all.
Oh, okay. I see why. What's going on? But like, yeah, like, but like, have you ever had that moments though where you experienced this, like, like, what did you what did you learn from the video? Like, in fact, I know that this is the first time you watched it, right? I believe.
I learned that I want to know more. I want to know more.
Like, about what specifically? Because like, there's so many ways that there's so many things about Kabbalah that when I study it, and even Tony study it, it's like vast, like ocean. Like I saw a vast ocean when you describe it to me. What's going on in your head right now?
Yeah, well, hey, buddy, that's what I saw. That's what I saw when I was watching the video. I can't, man. Did you click on the link? Like,
Yeah, I clicked on the link.
did it pull it, guys?
Yeah, I did click on the link, but somehow it keeps taking me back to Tony's channel.
It took me straight to dude's video about the Kabbalah stuff.
Wait, is it like how to attract your own mind, the 7 hermetic principles, you mean? Is that the one?
It said 7 somethings. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I could go check again. Let me go see.
Okay, so give me one more. Give me one moment. I found as I'm watching this video with you guys, especially like I'll copy and paste the link that Milani just sent here. This one is very important.
Yeah, that's the only link he sent me.
Okay.
Hey,
So
Andy,
yeah.
that's it. Like when you go to his page and it says Tony Morris liked this video. It's that first video, the 7 Hermetic Principles or something or another like that. That's the video that I just watched. I didn't even watch the whole thing, buddy, because my son wanted something to drink, and then you chimed in. So I was about halfway through it. I think it's like a 30-minute video. I watched about 13 minutes. Hey, Michael. Hey guys, I want to talk about something now that there's less people. It's a little more intimate and everyone's not fighting to talk.
Oh,
But
hey, sorry,
so
I was
like
away from the keyboard for a second.
Sorry, I'm
Go
eating.
ahead.
hey, so like basically when something tragic happened in my life when I was 11 years old. My father had been molesting my brother and sister, and it all came out. And so it was a really, traumatic experience for me. My mom uprooted us from where I was born and raised, and she moved us, about 45 minutes south to where she was born and raised. And I remember we moved in with my grandfather, and something strange started to happen to me. I felt like I had powers, right? And that was weird, because I didn't because I knew nobody else talked about they had powers or so. My energy, I would walk into a room and the TV would just go static. The TV would turn off and on. The lights blink. So I always felt that, when that would happen, I felt that was coming from me. I felt like that was my energy doing that. That was coming from me. But I was only 11, 12 years old, and so I didn't talk to my mom about it because I thought she would think I was crazy or something, whatever, and just blow it off.
Okay.
When I was about 15 years old, I was riding in a car with my mom and my little sister, and I heard a phone ringing in my ear. I could hear a phone ringing, and I looked at the time, and it was I don't know, it was 5:55 or 5:56 in the afternoon. And I told my mom, I said, the house phone's ringing right now. I said, look, what time is it? 5:56, whatever. I said, when we get home, I'm checking the caller ID. Sure enough, we got home, I checked the caller ID. The phone rang, somebody called at that exact time. I've had deja vus, countless and countless deja vus where I'm like, okay, this is totally happened. When I get deja vus, to me, I feel that I don't really know what it means, but I kind of narrowed it down to okay, this is the path, exactly where I'm supposed to be right now, or whatnot. I don't know. But when I was 19, see, I started at 17 years old. I started dabbling in drugs, and I started using a lot of LSD. And when I was probably 18, 19, I had enough. I had like this really crazy trip, and I saw a lot of things that I didn't care to see. And that trip stayed with me for a while. And I prayed and I prayed and I prayed and I prayed and I asked to take it away, because even when I wasn't tripping anymore, I could see things, and I didn't want to see it anymore. So I asked, to God to please take this from me, because I can't handle it and I just want to be normal again. Now here I am in adulthood, and I wish that I'd never asked him to remove that from me. Because I'm finding you guys, and I'm realizing I was seeing this documentary the other day. I forgot what it was called, but I realized that I'm not the only one. I wasn't the only one out there with powers, for a lack of a better word. But my question is, do any of you know how? I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm on the right track, but so my question is, how do I get it back? I want it back.
Just depends what particular power you thought you had.
Honestly, I think if you want it back, you're going to get it.
You are going to get it back.
Yeah,
if you want it.
and because whenever you prayed it away, it doesn't matter if you pray it to your higher self or to God or Creator, Creatrix, God, Goddess, what have you. You're willing that, to go away. And now that you want it back, you're doing the same thing. You're asking the universe, say, okay, I'm ready. And whenever you're ready, that's whenever it comes back. Whenever you're ready for it. Whenever you took LSD, what that did is it might have
Pray and
set
make
up
the lights turn off.
Yeah. But whenever
My
you're
friend,
taking
like,
LSD, what
we
that
would
does is that opens up. That actually puts you in a situation. I can't say that LSD is a bad thing, but you really have to be careful with any type of psychedelic drug or any type of drug at all. As far as looking at it as a tool, I constantly say that you just have to look at it as a tool. It's something that we have that's been gifted to us for, just like Michael said on one of his posts the other day, to better understand Earth, to better understand Mother Earth, ourselves, our place in it, and the universe. And those are gifts, and so they're not a bad thing. It's just whenever you was doing it, you wasn't ready for it, and you probably was around people as well, that in that type of situation when you're younger, you don't really choose your friends as wisely as you possibly should. I know Michael's dealt with that, and I know I have. I've had to separate myself from certain people that I just that's it, no more. You're out of my life.
Man. Yep.
And
it took me a while to see clearly, though. That.
One time I think I was really depending on this person. I got arrested, and I told him, I said, make sure that my car gets home and my mom and dad get their cell phone back. Come to find out, after I get out of jail, I was like, what, you don't think I'm not going to get out of jail and find out about this? 2 weeks later, my dad had to go over and get the car and the cell phone from this guy. And I'm like, that is not reliable. That is not being a friend. So, no, I haven't contacted him since then. The last time he saw me is when I was getting hauled off in the police car. And as far as I'm concerned, that's the last time he did see me. Because I don't need that in my life.
You don't need that in your life.
Right. Now, if he wants to go on, if he finds his own spiritual journey, well on him. Universe, guide him. I have nothing ill against him, but he's not in my life.
Well, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Well, it's okay.
I was just gonna.
Well, it's good that you have those powers. No, go ahead.
Come on, Milani, don't unmute yourself.
What was you gonna say, Melanie? Is it Melanie or Milani?
No, I don't know. Melanie.
Okay, that's what I thought. I was just
Or
making
Fire Child.
sure. Fire child,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
sounds like it.
Yeah. So I don't know, like, you know, I don't have any friends anymore. I've completely isolated myself, like, from everybody. Like, I'm so afraid to. I'm just afraid of people these days because just
Absolutely. Yep.
so many bad experiences, and I'm tired of being hurt, and I'm tired of being stepped on and mistreated, and we don't deserve it. None of us do, you know, and just I'm fucking isolated, and all I do is work, and I'm in these, you know, go to all these meetings, and this is like, this is the extent of my social life, Facebook. And now you guys, you know, I don't do anything. I don't,
That's
you know,
pretty much the same here. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. You can be thankful for that because it's a time to reflect. You know, have that attitude of gratitude where, you know, you know, be thankful that you don't have to deal with those type of people in your life anymore. You're more choicey about your friends now, so, and you do have Facebook, and you can actually meet up with people that are close to you and around that in your area in Louisiana that you'll eventually meet on Facebook, because the universe has a way of doing that. And you just don't think of it as such a bad situation.
like
But you can really grow from this time. I right now I do not have any friends except for who's on Facebook. Well, maybe one, and he's reliable. No, two. I've got one that's reliable and one that I've told to his face he's not reliable. You know, and he knows it. Yeah, and that's how I do things now. It's like, look, you're cool, I love partying with you, you're funny and everything, but as far as depending on you, forget it. Because you are not reliable. But this other friend of mine, he'll come all the way 50 miles away to come out and see me. When he says he's going to do something, he does it. And that's all. You know, that's pretty much all I can ask. You know,
Right.
Somebody respect my existence enough to do what they say they're going to do.
You know, Melanie, here's one of the things I need to let
Melanie,
you know.
Andy.
Melanie.
Melanie.
Like, I want you to know that right now, you guys
Sounds like a sandwich or something.
like
I was
seriously,
yeah.
Melanie, like you actually have a family here now. I'm actually creating this webinar and all these stuff for you guys to hang out, and B so that way we can feel like we're a family, you know. It's not easy to be out in the world, especially nowadays. That's the fact that I need you to know. And especially like when I started this Dzogchen meditation, it's also going to help you be able to know that sometimes in life we always seek to know how many friends, but we never seek the ones that are real to us.
That's true. A lot of people, and even on Facebook, you know, there's a lot of friends that I have that are, I mean, that's really, I don't think that they should call it friending somebody on Facebook. Maybe like acquaintance on one level and then friends on another.
Right.
You know,
Just
not
because like
not
they
to
like
say
your
that y'all are my
Facebook
friends,
picture.
but, yeah, but you know, it's just kind of making the whole idea of what the word friend means passé. You know, and I don't like that.
yeah.
It's more than that. I mean, you know, just because
Well,
a person.
you know, I have no, I have two different Facebook profiles. You know, like I have my Melanie Burkhart profile, which I changed my name to Firechild on there, but then I decided, you know what, I don't want to have my Firechild linked to my real page. I have since deactivated